everybody, and welcome back to Many Thoughts with Dr.T show reviews. And we are back with another episode review of the show Never Ever Met, which is on the OWN network. And my guest joining me is my husband, Megawatts. What's up, babe? How you doing? How you feeling?
What's up, everybody? We're here to talk about this show. Get it in. It's getting good. It's getting real good.
Or
Let's
drama
get it.
filled, one of the two.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So all right, so we're gonna get right into it. So let's see. The very first scene, guys. So you
Mhm.
remember last episode where we left off, we had Charlie and Jared, and Charlie pulled Jared to the side to tell him her big secret, which is that she has a 1 month old at home that he doesn't know about. So she dropped that bomb on him. Not only that, he knew she had a 12-year-old, but she also told him that she has a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. So he thought she had one child. She actually has four. Okay. Now, if you're telling anybody
Or
that, immediately their face is gonna drop. Like, wait, what? Like their face is gonna draw up like this, right? His stayed like this.
crazy.
So at the conclusion of the show, we both said, "Oh, he must have a secret as well," because he didn't
Yeah.
look surprised. So this is where the show picks up. Um, and he tells her, like, "Oh, okay, well, I have something I had to tell you too. I also have a child. I have a 6-month-old son that you don't know about."
Mhm.
So toxic. And so he was, instead of being like, "What? How could you do this?" He tells us in his confessional that he's relieved. He was like, "Shoo, we're
Mhm.
even." So what did you
Wow.
think about that?
I just thought that, he was gonna drop the news sooner or later. He was just really relieved to find out that she was the bad guy in the situation and not necessarily him. Because imagine if she didn't have a child and she just had the 12-year-old that they were talking about at the beginning. Everything was honest, and then he had to come in and drop the news about, hey, I got this newborn kid, 6-month old too, right?
Yeah,
So
6-month-old boy.
yeah, so he definitely would have been the bad guy. He's relieved he's not having to be the bad guy in this situation. um ah, it's like, I did my dirt, you did your dirt, let's just act like nobody did no dirt, is what I'm getting from them. So I'm like,
Right, and not only
yeah.
was he not the bad guy, he low key at the end tried to flip it on her like, "Now I said we was even, but you dropped 2 additional kids on me,
You're
so I
right. So
I
your
don't know if
dirt
I could
more.
do this." And so it was
Yeah.
wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he said he didn't know if he could do that because essentially they both knew each other had one child. I guess he already had a child too. So he was like, "Man, we went from 2 to 6, and I don't know about the logistics of it all." He said, I mean, I barely can deal with the 2 I have, which to me, I'm thinking, yeah, you probably ain't barely there for those 2. So in his mind, he's like, "It's no way I can take on 6 kids. Like, I know this is not going to work." But she says, "I just want you to try." So she's literally begging him, which is so crazy. It's just so toxic. This is so sad. That's what I wrote down. I said, "This is sad." She was like, "I just want you to try." And I think so he just wanted to smooth it out. He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna try." And they hug it out. And I think that he's staying because of, I'm pretty sure they're getting some type of check from this.
Mhm.
He's probably, they both getting a break from their kids and they need to be taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure he wants to have sex with her. So I'm sure he's like, "All right, I'll stay here for these 3 weeks. Why not?" But it's no way they're gonna work. It's no way that they're gonna have a house full of 6 kids. It's just not gonna work.
Yeah, and like you said, I think he knows that. I think he knows that this isn't gonna go any further than this show, from the show shooting. I mean, I just think, ah, it's just wild because they were both really dishonest to each other.
Mhm.
Um, Dropping 3 more kids on somebody is wild though, that you've been dating.
The
It's
whole
like
scenario is wild.
you've gotta let somebody know that they've got 3 kids. Oh, more. 4 kids, my bad. That you've got 4 kids that I have to take care of on top of the kids that I have. I mean, that's
Right, it's really sad, and it's and also, both of them are sad people that you're worried about a show when you got 4 kids at home, you got a 6-month-old and another child, but you worried about being on a show, so both of them are pathetic, it's crazy.
yeah.
But anyway, I literally wrote shame on them for being on the show. Sad.
Yeah, and I think everybody's feeling the same way that you are about it. It's like, what are you guys doing on this show knowing that you have all these responsibilities that you have to deal with, that you gotta take care of, and you're just kinda just in it for the self gratification of everything. The money, you're not thinking of the kids at all. You're not thinking of how they're gonna perceive any of this, the 12-year-old, if she's gonna get teased in school about this, any of that. It's pretty selfish what they're doing.
Definitely.
Mm, mhm,
Okay, so that's how the show started off. Then the next scene was Alicia and Irvin. So just a reminder, Alicia and Irvin, remember the in last episode,
mhm,
he's Haitian. Their first date was like a dancing type of thing, like a salsa almost,
mhm,
the equivalent. And she immediately was like, I don't really want to be touched so soon. So remember,
yeah,
call that out as a little red flag. And I
mhm,
always say, if you don't want to be touched, I feel like it's an attraction thing. You're not attracted. Point blank, period. That's just how I feel. So that's how we
yeah,
left that. So we pick up here. Um, he wants to sleep in the bed with her, and he said that
mm,
doesn't mean sex, but I would like to just, chill with you. He equated it to laying on the couch. Like I just wanna is that cool?
mm,
She thinks being physical is going to muddy the water, so she's totally against sex.
mhm,
She really doesn't want him even laying in the bed with her or touching her. And then she tells us that has a autoimmune disease. I forgot what she
mhm,
said it was, and that just really took her on a journey. I think she lost her hair, had to cut her hair, just went through a lot of procedures. It's just a lot, and so she's really conscious about her body now, what goes in her body, and the sex thing is out.
mhm,
And he thinks that she's just presenting a really hard exterior, and he's kind of not feeling, he understands, I think, but just wondering why she's so cold. And he's also concerned that they haven't kissed and she really doesn't want to be touched or held. So what are your thoughts about this scene?
uh, I just feel more red flaggy, you know what I mean, about these 2, especially her. She's spewing a lot of dog whistles about, a lot of Me Too dog whistles, you know, I feel unsafe, around. It's like, okay, what are we doing? You're supposed to be dating this person. You're supposed to be your boyfriend. He wasn't doing anything in particular that would make her feel unsafe like that. Like he wasn't trying to harm her in any way. You just kind of make real victims in real life. You kind of desensitize everyone to them when you just spew those catchphrases out all the time. And if you feel unsafe, really be in an unsafe situation. You know what I mean? Maybe you can say, "Hey, I feel a little uncomfortable." You know what I'm saying, with how you're talking. Unsafe is a different level. That's why he got up and left. He was like, "You know
Well,
what?"
we're talking about the first scene, like the very, very first scene when they were,
Mhm.
like, laying in the bed, and she just
Yeah.
didn't, she would kinda wasn't feeling it. But to your point, I think
Mhm.
we're like, "Hmm." I
Yeah.
think she's not attracted to him, but
Yeah,
and, I wanna be sensitive
Mhm.
because, I haven't had an autoimmune disease. I don't know what that may do
Mhm.
to somebody's body, you know what I'm saying? So I'm, like, right on the middle here. I'm like, "Okay," and again, if this was your deal, it's like, why come on the show if you know you don't wanna be touched and all of this other stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be sensitive here. But it's like, "Okay." You can't hug him?
Yeah, it's just a little odd. It's just it's a tad bit odd how, she doesn't wanna get touched at all by this guy, and that's supposed to be her partner.
Yeah.
Like,
They've
you're
been
talking
talking
about
for how long? 5
uh,
months?
how how long have they been talking? I gotta check my notes.
Yeah. It's 5 yeah, 5 months. I got it up there on the
Yeah,
side. So, it's like,
I don't know.
yeah, I'm trying to be sensitive to what she may be going through in the body.
Mhm.
They've always been virtual. Bam, you guys are he's there now. He wants to, like, embrace you, so maybe she has to warm up, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I just don't think this gonna work at all. I just don't think they're gonna work at all. Because she doesn't wanna be touched by the guy. She keeps saying these dog whistles about, "Hey, he's making me feel uncomfortable. He's touching me places I don't wanna be touched." Ah, you know, they're just trying to set the guy up for either a lawsuit or a case. This
Yeah.
isn't gonna go this isn't gonna go very well, and I think that's where everyone's thinking about the situation, like, yeah, she she sends a lot of dog whistles.
Okay, so that was that. Next, they have an activity, their first activity. So they all go outside. No, they all have to get put bathing suits on. So some
Mhm,
people are like, "Uh-oh." The bodies weren't in the best of shape. So they all had
mhm,
to put bathing suits on and go outside. And the
yeah,
activity they had to do was painting, but painting each other's bodies, not a canvas. The bodies
mm,
were the canvas. So it was about exploring intimacy outside the bedroom. So it was about the
yeah,
activity was supposed to be about consent, boundaries, and clear communication. And so the whole thing was one partner, they take turns, one partner paints the other partner. So they had all the various colors of paint. You can use a brush, you can use your hand, and just paint something on them, that represents how you're feeling or whatever. But the
mm,
point is you're supposed to ask for permission. So can I paint your thigh? Can I take the brush and go down your arm? And so they're supposed to be practicing consent and boundaries and clear communication. And I did like that. I know uh, I'm kinda talking out 2 sides of my mouth, but, I know
mm,
last year, this season, like, all of the activities and games were so sexual,
yeah,
and this one still kinda is, so
mhm.
but at least I guess they're practicing consent, allegedly, so so would you like an activity like this? Did you think this was cool? Was this
Um,
something
I
did you
think
wanna
the act
do it?
well, yeah, I think the activity was cool, as long as, you keep, moderation in there. Body painting can get a little sketchy if you wanna steer away from getting physical with your partner. Um,
I don't like being dirty, so
yeah,
I
and,
don't know.
it could be a lot, you know what I'm
No, for
saying?
me.
Like, it's gonna be hard not to touch those hard to reach places, if you know what I mean, with all that paint. So, it's like,
I was
maybe we
looking
should
for the
do
water
something.
hose.
Yeah, we should probably do something else if we're trying to steer clear from going there.
It wouldn't have turned me on. I
Yeah,
don't wanna
I could
do that.
see brothers getting turned on by doing some things, painting some things. So it's like, okay, that's not gonna keep me from not wanting to go there with you. It's gonna probably stir the pot a whole lot more, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, so some couples like this more than others. So we
Right.
start off with Alexis and Chris.
Mhm.
So Alexis was painting Chris, and remember Alexis and Chris from a last episode,
Yeah.
remember she came in just with an attitude.
Mhm.
Soon as she sat down, she's like, "You owe me an apology," and he had to give a public apology because he had stepped out on her and all this other stuff. And so, that was kinda their vibe. She just had, like, a attitude vibe going,
Mhm.
and so
Like she's
she
just mad.
painted
Yeah.
yeah, so she painted Chris, and again, this whole thing, It's
Mm,
about consent and boundaries and clear communication,
mhm,
and
whole
she
thing.
wasn't asking him anything. She was just painting wherever she wanted to paint, doing whatever she wanted to do, and
Mhm,
he was like, "Dang, you not asking for permission," and she was just like, "Whatever," just doing her own
mhm,
thing,
mhm.
and
Like in a
yeah,
mean way, yeah. Like
yeah,
a
non
non-servicing way, like, I'm just gonna use you for what I wanna use you for, I wanna do what I wanna do. Forget how you feel about any of this. I'm gonna take advantage of you how I want to. You're gonna
mhm, and he
like
picked
it.
up on that.
He picked up on it.
Yeah.
I
So
thought yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
he said he thinks she has, control issues, and she
Mhm.
said that, she was claiming her territory because she put, like, her handprints on his
On
butt
his
and
butt.
on his private part, and everybody was like,
A
"Dang."
lot. It's a lot.
And in turn, he drew a stop sign on her back, and he admitted he was being petty, but he was like, "I'm just not feeling this activity. She's just doing what she wanna do. She has control issues," so he drew, like, a big stop sign on her back, so that was pretty funny.
Well, and it kinda goes right back to the infidelity that they were going through. Um, Earlier on, she was upset that he was, stepping out. So she
Yeah.
wanted him or whoever I guess he was stepping out with to understand, "Hey, he's mine now.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
There's
that's a good
nothing
point.
you can do about it. Here, I'm gonna put my hands all over him, and here I'm gonna." Yeah, it was childish.
Almost like she wants ownership of him
Mm,
more.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was them. Then we panned over to Kiki and Brandon. I still
Mhm,
have my eye on Brandon. I'm still trying to figure this situation out. So remember from last episode, Kiki is very, very plus size. She's a BBW model. And
mhm.
so for their date, Brandon did a really good job. He had a little photo shoot for her and everything. It was weird that he had her in lingerie. Like, why she couldn't just be in regular clothes, I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we all know what's going on with that.
so Brandon,
Mhm,
so Kiki painted Brandon first. And
mhm,
so they asked Brandon, like, how'd you feel? He was like, "Oh, I'm just feeling so submissive." And
mhm.
it's like, "Well, they what?" So he really, really enjoyed it. He was really
Yeah.
enjoying it.
I'm
So
not
we were
really sure. I didn't know how to feel about when he said, "Yeah, I'm just feeling so submissive."
I don't
I
know what's
just
happening with this relationship.
I don't know what that means either. Not saying this brother ain't a man's man or anything like that, or
No, 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 not that.
well,
I
that's
think
what as a man, I'm like, okay, now it's just funny, like when men are taught to, to be leaders, to lead their woman, and to to I guess take force or whatever. So
uh-uh.
like or whatever that means, but just be a leader. You know what I'm saying? So like when you're submissive, it's like, okay, what's that mean? Is if I'm just listening to I'm able to listen to my woman. I'm able to take advice from my woman. I'm able to, because that's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
those
yeah.
are things that
He
you want
said
in
it
a
multiple times, that
submissive.
specific
I don't
word.
know. That's something a woman normally would say about to a man.
Yeah.
So I didn't know. I didn't know how to really take that.
And we were
Mhm,
wondering if he sees her as a fetish, you know what I'm saying? Like, does
mhm.
he like her for her, or does he just like he has something with, like, really big women or something? So
I
that was
don't
a
know.
flag, and then, like, he was like, "Oh my god, I just wanted to submit to her," and
Oh,
so I just don't know what's happening.
I don't know what
You know what
submit
made me
to
just
her
think
means.
too in the moment? Maybe
Yeah.
it's on some, like, that BDSM thing. Like, some men enjoy
Mm,
being,
mhm. Dominated.
chained up or dominated. Yeah, chained up or walked on with high heels, like, all kinda crazy stuff.
That's pretty wild. Yeah, the some guys, I mean, I guess some guys that is
That's
their
what it
thing,
made me when he said that
being
word, I was
submissive. Yeah, I'm
like,
like, yeah, because being submissive,
"What?"
I'm like, because like, normally, when a man and a woman, they get together, like, the man is supposed to be the dominant one, or at least in some shape, form, or
And
fashion.
hey, if they like it for their dynamic, it's cool.
Mhm,
Who are we to judge? But again, we
true.
just got our eye on Brandon. We're trying to figure out what's happening, okay?
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
I ain't knocking 'em.
yeah,
You
and
know,
that's cool because he
do what
loved
works for
it.
you,
He was
man.
into it. Yeah. Okay, so then we panned
Mhm,
over to where y'all at? Cinco and Jay. So nothing really
mm.
from them this episode. They enjoyed the exercise. He drew,
Yeah,
like, her
yeah.
son's name and his nickname, so that really
Mhm.
touched her heart, and I think she
Yeah.
drew something on him, but nothing too
She
big
loves him.
there. Yeah, maybe I was wrong about them. They seem to be gelling, but we still gonna see. She
Yeah,
gonna try to take over, watch. But this episode, they was cool.
mhm,
So that was the activity, um,
mhm,
and then after that, so they all go wash up and, no. So before they went in, back to Alexis and Irvin
mhm,
Alicia, I'm sorry, Alicia and Irvin, and so they were wrapping the exercise up and asking Irvin how he felt, and remember Alicia has the autoimmune disease or whatever, so he drew something like something alluding to the fact that she was so strong, and he was like, "Yeah, she's so strong because what she's going through with her." And she was like, And he was like, she's just strong." So she didn't want him to really tell what she was going through with the autoimmune disease. He was about to spill the beans on that.
and that's cool because that can be something private that she don't want everybody, you know, knowing about just yet,
Yeah,
and that's cool. That I didn't get any red flags from that. It's just like, you don't wanna let everybody know about a crazy major disease you're dealing with.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And it went along
you
with
know
the exercise because the instructor was like, "Wait, did she give you consent to share that?" He was like, "Nah, you right, you right."
Yeah, yeah, that's
Um, okay, so then that was the conclusion of that. So they go back in the house, they get cleaned up. Now it's time to eat. The people that are in charge of cooking for the night, which I'm like, why can't the OWN network just have a chef and just have food prepared? Because it seemed pretty late. You know what I'm saying? It's like it probably because it was dark, so it had to be about
Mhm.
8:30. They just now starting to cook. I was like, man,
I know why they're doing that. I know why they're
the
doing that.
chemistry.
Yeah, it's for chemistry, it's for okay, let me find out that if my woman can cook or not. That's that's a big deal to men, you know?
Yeah,
It's just
I'm
a
thinking.
plus for women, if a man can cook, yeah, it's a plus, but it's not really expected a lot, you know what I'm saying, that if a man can cook all like that. So if you do get it, that's a plus. The most we're trying to do is just slap some on the grill, you know what I
Or
mean?
make
Or,
breakfast.
you know, you might make some breakfast, you know what I mean? Or slap something in the smoker, on the grill. That's it. We ain't really trying to chef it up all like that. But, the men who are, I commend them because, women really like that. So, hey, but,
I'm
you know,
saying, can we have chemistry for breakfast and lunch, and can OWN go
mm,
ahead and have a caterer for dinner? Because everybody's like, "Dang,
yeah,
when it's gonna be ready?"
yeah.
But I
And if
think we
if they can't cook, then people gonna get mad like, "Dang, like, they
yeah, I thought
can't
there was a
cook."
lot of pressure to cook for was it
Yeah.
12 other people? I think it's 14 of them, 7 couples, so
Mhm.
that's a lot.
So, yeah.
But it seems like brother Ty here can throw down because he was like,
Yes.
"Oh, yeah, we having blackened fish with rice pilaf and greens," and I was like, "Okay, now."
Mhm.
And he got the little, salt shaker, seasoning out, he was just going and frying, he was like, "Baby, drop some salt in there." I said, "Come on now,
Mhm.
Ty." So I think Ty can cook, but a drama ensued. So Ty, he's doing his thing, he's cooking, he's directing Brittany, they're doing a thing,
Mhm.
and who comes into the kitchen?
Here comes
Alicia.
Alicia.
So Alicia with her autoimmune disease, and I'm trying to be sensitive, y'all. Okay. So Alicia was like, "Yo, are y'all cooking with butter or y'all got the vegan butter?" And Ty was like, "Say
Mhm.
what now?" She was like, "The vegan butter." And he was like, we can't cook it with butter?" And she was like, "I mean, yeah,
I
but
mean, I
nah."
respect that. I mean, it's like some people can't eat what everybody else can eat. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
she's like, "Okay, you know what?
this.
Cook me some vegetables on the side and use
Mhm.
oil, but don't go crazy on the oil." And I think that's when he was like, "Alright now."
And this is what she should have done. She should have said, "You know what? Go ahead and cook for, the rest of everybody else. If you don't mind, I'm gonna cook myself some of those, vegetables on the side myself, so you guys can do what you wanna do for the rest of the group, but I'm just gonna take a few of these vegetables and cook this up on the side just for myself, how I know I need to eat it so that you guys can continue on doing what you guys are doing." And she wouldn't have came off so bossy if she would have wanted to add, to the efforts instead of saying, "Well, no, I need just a pinch of salt and just oil, but not too much oil, and it better be butter, but it better be not butter, but vegan butter. And if you're gonna cook with milk, it better be almond milk. And if it ain't almond milk, it's like, come on, sister, like we ain't got time to be doing all that. I'm with the healthy eating, but if you got to eat that healthy, you need to do it on your own on the side." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
So,
yeah.
um, so she said all of that,
Mm.
and Ty kinda blew up on her just a tad bit. Um,
Yeah, did
basically
he?
what you said, he was like, "No, like, we're not doing that. Like,
Mm,
no, we cooking for everybody, not just you." And in the confessional, he was just like, "That ain't my woman, so I ain't really worried about that."
mhm, mhm.
And so Alicia kinda felt away and walked off. To your point,
Yeah.
Imma blame both of them. Imma give them if I had
Mhm,
a pie, Imma give a 50-50. To your
mhm,
point, Alicia was doing a little much. Again,
mhm.
did the producers not did you tell the producers you have all these dietary
Of
restrictions? Do
course.
they have this stuff here at the house? Why'd you come on the show if it was gonna be such a thing? Because it seems like this autoimmune disease is becoming like a big thing. You don't wanna be touched. You can't eat
Mhm,
this, you can't do that. Again, I'm trying with her,
mhm,
but it's like you're making it a big deal. So I like your suggestion, like, "Hey, y'all, I got a couple dietary restrictions, but don't worry about me. Imma just" that's what I woulda did. I'm like, "Don't worry about me. Imma just cook my stuff on the side." Because they are cooking for 12 people. So imagine if
yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, I can't have eggs, and I can't do nuts, and
And I
I
can't do
can't."
salt. It's too much
Yeah,
sodium. It's like, "Alright, how the heck am I gonna cook for everybody if everybody got their own hands inside the
yeah.
pot?"
Yeah,
So,
so
yeah,
Imma give
like that.
Alicia 50%. Imma give
Mm,
Ty 50% too, because my
mhm.
eyebrow kinda raised at Ty.
Oh,
He
and
kinda
why?
snapped real quick. I was like, "Oh, shoot,"
Oh,
because
you think he got a short
again
fuse?
yeah, from Ty and Brittany, remember, I called this out. They had the
Mhm,
parasailing thing, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's like Mr. Jokey Man." Everything
mhm,
was a
mhm,
punchline, and you
mhm,
gotta be wary of people like that that's always joking, because a lot of times that is a front, and they'll flip
mm,
on you, and so it was
mhm.
just so quick, I just wasn't I was like, "Whoa." He's like, I'm not doing that, and we cooking for all these people and da 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 da." Even Brittany clocked it. His,
Yeah, his girl was
girlfriend,
like,
he was like, "Hey, just
just,
watch how you
just
talk to
chill out a little bit,
women." Yeah, yeah,
don't
so
be
I
so
was like,
forward with it. Yeah,
because
he's I wouldn't say, I guess, lucky that it didn't spill over to Irvin or whatever because
right. That's what I thought he was about to come in there, like, "What's going on in here?"
yeah, because that could have been a problem, talking to somebody woman like that, you know what I mean? I just would have
Yeah,
just been calm about it, it's like, like, "Hey, I'm not doing that, like, I can't," you know? When you're like, "Oh, no, get up," I ain't about to do you got
yeah,
you doing
the
all
voice
that,
was
then
elevated.
it's
Alicia was
like,
like, "Why
"Nah,
you
that's
yelling at me, Ty?"
not gonna go well because Buddy coulda came in like, "What you doing talking to my woman like that?" You know what I'm saying? And it
Yes,
coulda been a whole thing.
exactly.
It coulda been a whole
And
thing.
yeah, so and
Mhm,
and you people can't compartmentalize, so if
mhm,
somebody is yelling and screaming at somebody not that he was yelling and screaming, but
mhm,
if they're treating others like that, it's
mhm,
eventually gonna flip on you too. So I'm
mhm,
hoping Brittany had her eye open like, okay."
mhm,
'Cause it's no such thing as, "Oh, no, they just treat everybody else like that. They don't treat me like that."
mhm,
No, that's not how it works. So let's just keep our eye on Ty because that was a quick fuse there.
mhm.
So Alicia luckily walked away and everything kinda died down a little bit, but Alicia didn't know she was walking in right into something else. So let's go back into Alicia was having a lot going this episode. Okay, so, Where am I? So, okay, so then actually we go to Chris. Chris and where y'all at? Chris and Alexis. So remember during the activity, Alexis was kind of doing the most. She wasn't following directions.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure why she had an attitude, but so she's sitting on the couch and Chris walks in. And as
Well,
soon as Chris sits down, she was like, I just feel disconnected.
mhm.
And
No, no, she
she's
said
like,
she felt that he was disconnected.
oh, okay, okay.
She said she felt that he was disconnected during the, event,
Doing the
during the painting
activity.
event, the exercise or whatever they did. So
And this is a classic case when people say use the term gaslighting and you wonder what that
mm,
means. This
mm,
is gaslighting. Now, Chris already
mm,
told us in his confessional he wasn't feeling the activity. He
mm,
thought she was being bossy. She was
mm,
taking too much control. She wasn't following directions. She
mm,
wasn't asking for permission. So we already know Chris felt like this.
mhm,
So they come into this scene. Alexis says, "Hey, Chris, I felt like you were disconnected." Chris
mhm,
says, "What?"
mhm,
See, this is what they do. It's then to make her feel like she's crazy and making this
mhm,
up in her head.
mhm,
When like, no, Chris, you did feel disconnected. Just
mhm.
own it.
Well, I just felt like he did that because they were around company, and he didn't wanna get into a where at dissension, amongst each other,
Mm.
um, around other people.
You
That's why
think
he's
that's
like,
what it
"Oh,
was?
what? What, me? Wha
He was making
how
her
you
act
feel?
like she was
I'm
crazy.
disconnected." You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, yeah, I mean, we all know you are, but you're being over the top to make it sound like you're not because there's company around or there's people around. That's why when they got up and left, I was happy they did. They
Yeah,
read it
then they were
too.
able to talk through it. Yeah.
They were like, "Yeah, let's go." This
Yeah. They were like, we'll see y'all later.
Mhm.
So they
Yeah.
talked through it. I don't think they really got anywhere because I still think Chris felt the same way.
Mhm.
But Alexis was trying to kind of flip it and make it seem like it was something Chris did to her.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't think this is gonna
Okay.
work, but
Yeah, like I said, she's so insecure
mm,
with what's going on, and that's why she said, "This is mine. I gotta grab his butt cheeks, and I gotta grab his private parts and put my, he
yeah,
mine, he mine." Like that ain't how you do it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So it's just really insecure. He's like, "Can you just slow down with some of that? Like, can you ask me what I like? Can you ask me what makes me tick? Can you ask me what things that make me feel good?" She's like, "I ain't worried about whatever make you feel good. Uh, I did it slow. I did it sensual. Why didn't you do it sensual to me? Why just like just ask him what you want, but don't tell him what feels good to him." That was a
yeah.
serious red flag when I saw that. I
You
was like,
painted me, but you didn't paint me slow. You painted me all fast, and
"Yeah."
I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work.
I said, "Nah, man, this
This
ain't gonna
ain't
work,
gonna work.
man."
That's a good
Like,
point. It's insecurity
mhm.
masked as a brick wall. So
Super
I'm
angry.
coming off like I'm strong and I don't care, but I really do care. And why was you disconnected towards me earlier? But she got to kind of have a strong exterior about it, and that's just the wrong way to go about it.
Yeah,
So he's
everything
he's
about
not
what
going to
she's
get
doing.
closer to her like that.
Mhm. It's all wrong with what they got going on.
Yeah, everything's backwards.
Mhm,
Okay, so Alicia is in it again. So
mhm,
my boy Irvin,
mhm.
he's like doo 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 going through the house and he hears upstairs some
Yeah,
yoga posing and some heavy breathing. And he's like, I know that ain't my girl. The girl that I've been asking, and they did some B-roll to show us. He's been asking her to do yoga with him like every morning, like
yeah,
every part of the day. And her first excuse was, no, I just want to wake up when my body tells me to wake up.
mhm,
No, I'm tired. No, da 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 da.
mhm.
But so when he hears some yoga posing going on, he's
With
like,
another
say
man
what?
too, don't forget that.
Yeah, and let's see who it was. Y'all not gonna believe this.
Thought it was
Mr. Red Flag.
Brandon.
Brandon, I
Well, of
told
course.
y'all.
Well, of
I
course.
told y'all.
It's Brandon because he's like the super in shape fit dude.
Brandon is in shape.
He's
He
the,
is the most in shape in the house. That is very true.
he's a personal trainer.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I
I
didn't know
mean,
that.
I feel like he is if, you know what I'm saying? If I may be wrong about that, but you know what I'm saying? I think he is. But,
He's in shape nonetheless.
he's crazy in shape, you know what I'm
Yes, so,
saying?
I told you, it's something up with Brandon. Because let me
Mhm,
let me be in a house with some women and you off to the side doing yoga with another woman, like, say what?
mhm.
And so,
Maybe he's
and it
not a
goes to
perfect
my
gentleman. I got him mixed up with somebody else, my bad. But, yeah.
And it goes to my point that Alicia is not attracted to Irvin. I told you, it's not
Mm,
about the autoimmune disease and I don't wanna be touched. You're
mhm,
not attracted to him. He's been asking you to do yoga all this time. You can't figure it out, wrong time. But Brandon, Mr. In
mhm,
Shape,
mhm,
you doing the yoga poses with him, like,
mhm. And
I
those are
that
some
sealed it for me.
acrobatic, poses that you gotta do in yoga, and it involves the other partner touching you, right? Or am I tripping?
Well, I don't know if they were doing that,
Oh,
but
and
the
that type
point
okay.
is, yeah,
He
y'all were
not
doing
holding
it
her or nothing like
together.
that? Okay.
Yeah, they may not have been doing all but the
Okay.
point was they were both doing whatever off together when your partner's been asking you to do this, that doesn't make
Mhm.
sense. So, of course, Irvin calls her out on this. It's like,
Yeah.
"Yo, what's up with that?" You
Well,
know?
I feel like there was probably some touching involved, but that's just my intuition about that situation, you know what I'm saying? Helping
Yeah.
you get into your pose, "Oh, you gotta do it like this," or,
I don't know if they were
the
going
arch
that far.
I don't know,
But
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, so Irvin brings this of course, he's upset, like, "Man, I've been asking you," and she kinda tries to flip it and wiggle her way out of it, like, "Oh, I mean, I didn't know it was such a big deal." And he's like, "Yeah, it's a big deal." And then so they were at the table and he was like, "Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Like, it's all good. I'm not tripping. I just want you to be aware." You know what I'm saying? And I do like that Irvin was, very expressive and he let her know
Yeah,
his feelings because
immediately.
men are always clear communicators, so I'm glad that they talked about it.
Mhm. Yeah, and I'm super happy that he was expressive like you said, because you need to express yourself. If you feel a way, you need to express it immediately. Don't bottle it up. Don't wait. I think that's a dismissive and disrespectful way to present the way you feel about a certain thing to your partner, holding it up, not saying nothing, letting days go by, weeks go by. "Well, remember when you did this, in the kitchen?" You're like, "What are you talking about? Like, that was so weeks ago." Well, I just wanted to wait till the right time." No, you gotta say it right then and there like he did, and it works out way better when it's in the
Mhm.
present than versus
And
bringing it back up.
yes, and to your point, the other part of that is when you bring it up, when you talk about it, you gotta get it all out and you gotta make sure everybody
Mhm,
is cool, okay? You can't talk about it and
mhm.
say, "Yeah, I might," but you ain't really alright.
But you're not
And so
really
that's gonna come
alright.
back around, okay? So we leave that scene there.
Mhm.
And then, Charlie and Jared so they're all eating dinner. This all happened all this stuff was happening, like, right before dinner. So they're
Mhm.
eating dinner, and Charlie and Jared, for some reason, decide that they need to announce to the whole group what's going on. She got the 4 kids and he got the 2.
Well, I just feel like, yeah, they coulda kept it to themselves, but imagine if they kept it to themselves and then everyone found out by a third party, a third person. Then they'll be like, "Oh, yeah, they really crazy then," you know what I'm saying? But I feel she tried to gain some of that power back by saying, "Are we just gonna tell everybody
Yeah, I feel you on
all
that.
these secrets right now? Hey,
You
y'all,
tell your
yeah,
story, nobody else can tell it.
yeah, I got 4 kids." You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been breastfeeding a whole baby, like, running into
Everybody's face was like, "What?
like, what
Say
you doing?
what
Like
now?"
and you know
How
what?
his face should have been.
And
Everybody was, like, flabbergasted. It was so funny as they panned to everybody's faces. She was like, "Y'all, I've been breast pumping in secret. I got 4 kids." He's like, "Yeah, and I got a 6-month-old." I was like, "Oh my god." So everybody was looking
uh,
crazy. Jared didn't wanna he thought that they should keep it to themselves because that's their business, but of course, he was like Charlie glazed at him across the table like, "Go ahead and say it." So they
mm,
went ahead and said it.
he was
Um,
gonna let it go because he's like, "Man, this is embarrassing for me." Like, I'm with a girl who had 4 kids and let me know she had 1 the whole time, a 12-year-old. Now I got a 1-month-old, a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a
He is
12-year-old
not gonna
all
say
in
this
one
relationship.
conversation. And
Yeah.
then I got one of my own that I felt so relieved on telling her about, like, yes, you know,
Yeah, they not gonna work.
I mean, that's crazy, man. That's crazy work.
And
Crazy
everybody was
work.
talking about it in private
Right.
afterwards.
And that's just wild. That just goes to show how people are in general. Like, "Oh, we're so supportive. Oh, you guys are gonna make it as soon as they get a chance. Did you see how much kids she got?"
Yeah,
Like,
everybody was talking about it.
like,
She was like, "She
bruh,
applied for the show when she was pregnant?"
like, yeah. Jay was like, "Good job. I mean, congratulations."
Congratulations.
He's so funny.
Oh
But
my
yeah,
goodness.
I'm like, "Yeah, that's wild. That's wild." Ah.
Okay. So the next scene, so they have
Mm,
this huge mansion, right, where all the couples are staying, and then they have almost like a, not an outhouse, but like a guest house,
mhm,
and they're calling it's like this big room that's called the intimacy suite. So
mhm,
if you feel like you wanna do something, because their rooms are all out in the open, it's kinda like a, quarters almost, like it's like a big room with beds, so you don't really have a lot of privacy, and so they have this why I keep saying outhouse, guest house called the intimacy suite
the boom
where,
boom room.
the
That's what they
couples
was
can
calling
go,
it. They was calling it
if
the
they
boom
wanna do
boom room.
something. Yeah. If they wanna do something.
That's what they was
How do
calling
you
it.
feel about that? To me, it gives me the ick. It's like, are they
Mhm.
changing the sheets? Like, are there, like,
That's the first
housekeepers?
thing I thought of.
Okay, I
I
thought it
said,
was
"Do they
weird.
change the sheets daily?" I would love to. And it's like,
I'm
okay,
sure they do, but
w
still.
it's like, yeah, and even if you are changing the sheets, it's like, alright, what
Yeah.
if, like, before the next shift, uh,
I think
custodian
you stayed a night or something.
comes
I
in.
don't know.
I was about to say it, 'cause, like, what if they do their thing, leave, another couple comes in an hour later? You know,
Nah,
like,
nah, nah, nah,
I'm
nah. I
like,
think you get it for the night, like, you
nah,
book
they
it for
y'all
the
can
night.
get folks can get tacky, especially when they get, you know,
You hope it's a check-in,
bothered.
check-out time.
When some folks get bothered, they get tacky.
Yeah, well, Cinco and, Old Girl was
Mhm.
doing stuff in the shower.
Right. They said, "Bump all that boom boom."
Yeah, they called him out. I thought that was kinda tacky. The host of the show was like, "Yeah, now y'all ain't gotta do it in the shower. Y'all can go to the intimacy suite." I was like, "Dang."
Yeah, and of course, old girl was like, "Yeah, that's why all them towels was getting,
Yeah,
used up."
in
I
the
was like,
dryer.
"Sister,
I was like, "Oh, how embarrassing." I had
come
secondhand
on."
embarrassment.
Yeah, I'm like, "You ain't have to say that." You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't have to say that. You know
Yeah,
what I
so
mean?
Tatiana and Clavassier, they were in the intimacy suite, first, and, she said off the bat that she wasn't trying to have sex or anything. She just wanted to chill, just to get some time away. And they immediately start talking about Jared and Alicia and about the big secret they talked about with,
Mhm.
all the kids and stuff, and I thought it was weird. I clocked it. Tatiana was like, "Yeah, wasn't that weird how she was, saying about, how many kids she had? Like, what ain't that crazy? Would you drop a bomb on somebody like that?" And
Would you tell
Clavassier,
me?
yeah, like, "Would you tell me something like that?" And Clavassier was like,
Mm.
his answer was too detailed, and I was like,
Nah, he
"Look
took
at
too
your
long.
scenarios." So he was like, "Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the timing that you tell somebody, because when you got a situation like that, you get," and he was going all deep into it, and I was like, "Dang, well, do you got a secret?" Because if
Yeah, I
you
was
ask me
like,
like, "Babe, would you drop
"Oh,
something on me like that?" I'm like, "No,
you
period."
right, right."
Well, depends because, and he was, like, dancing around something, and I was
Yeah, I
like,
knew
"What's that
something was
about?"
up. Yeah.
So
I
then in his
definitely
confessional, he tells us,
yeah.
did he tell us he had a baby? Or what was his secret?
That's what he said. He said, "Yeah, I got a newborn." I was like, "Oh, heck nah."
Yeah, in his confessional, he said he has a baby, but he hasn't told Tatiana.
Yeah,
Um,
that ain't gonna go good because she
yeah,
seemed
he has
like
a
she can get
newborn, you're
spicy.
right.
She seemed like she can
And
get spicy, like, for real,
this is a
you know?
sidebar.
Mhm.
I don't like where the show is going. I don't know. Like, what is it with all these surprise babies and stuff as secrets, and Kiki,
Mhm.
the BBW model, she got a secret. And I'm like, I don't like this. I
Yeah.
understand entertainment value,
Mhm.
but can they just be regular couples? Like, why
Uh,
I was like, I don't know. I don't like this.
it's pro it's production, oriented, while they're doing what they're doing.
They don't need to
Um,
have secret babies though. Why can't
yeah,
just be like, I might be a little controlling, or why can't it be regular people issues?
well, yeah, they're definitely doing it for shock value for the show. Like, they wanna give you something to look forward to. This is all producer driven, I feel like.
Yeah,
We
I
need
think
a
they could be
secret out
going
of
like
each and
this.
every one of y'all. That's probably how they got casted. They're like,
Oh,
"Okay,
absolutely.
okay, who
I was
you
like, "Oh, well,
dating?
don't tell her
You
till
need
you on
me.
the show."
Do you got something that they don't know about you?" "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
I got 4 kids and instead of 1. "Oh, yeah, yeah, you definitely on the show. Come on, yeah."
Yeah, why they
Uh,
do stuff like that?
yeah. "Oh, you got a side baby on the way?" "Oh, yeah, I got a side baby. I ain't told her yet." "Oh, cool. You next. You on the show. Sign here." And then next. I mean, I think that's kinda was where that's going. It's producer driven for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
this relationship ain't gonna work. As soon as he said that, I was like, "Oh, okay, y'all done." So I'm excited to
okay,
see
so
when
you think
he
they done.
Oh, yeah. That is super done.
Mm, mm,
How you gonna have a side baby? I'm so sorry. And some people it
mhm,
depends on the woman. I feel like if you're desperate enough, you'll go for it. You'll forgive. Like, no,
yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's a no for me. I don't care.
Mm,
I don't care. I don't care how, why, what happened. We was on a break, and
mm,
remember we had broke up for those 2 weeks, and that's
mm,
when I don't care.
mm, them side babies,
But
boy.
yeah. So, I'm hoping I guess he's gonna drop the bomb on that next episode or whatever.
Mhm.
Alright, so the last 2 scenes, Chris, where you at, Chris? So Chris is still upset about this, that painting activity, and so he goes outside
Yeah.
with Jared, the one that, has the six-month-old, and his girlfriend has the 4 kids. So they go outside together, and Chris is hot, and he's telling, Jared that he's just upset about how he feels like Alexis is very controlling, and he has an issue with
Mhm,
controlling people because he has a lot of childhood trauma,
mhm,
and he lets us know that he had, 9 step-parents all combined, my lord. So it seems like a lot of men were in and out of his mother's house. His mom was married multiple times. He went to go live with and those men were controlling to his mom. Then he went to go live with his dad, and his dad tried to control him.
mhm.
And so he just doesn't do well with
I don't know what
controlling.
that means because a father is supposed to lead their son into, you know, manhood. So I'm not sure what that means. My dad would
Yeah, he could have been overdoing it, maybe.
get what that means. But
Um,
okay.
yeah. And so he has an issue with being controlled. And I'm like, "So why are you with her?" And see, again, we gonna figure out that Alexis has to have some money. That was our theory because she's 12 years older than you. She's controlling. Like,
Mhm.
what are you getting out of this? I'm still not understanding.
And it's like it and
She gotta have money. That's the only
yeah,
thing.
she's gotta have money because, aesthetically,
Yeah, but I
you
say
know,
she's cool. She's
she's
pretty,
not
but it's not like
she's pretty, but it ain't
yeah,
Instagram model status or
right.
nothing like that. So it's like, okay, well, then so she's controlling. She don't do what you would like for her to do. I guess she bosses you around. She's making you apologize every day, left and right, about stepping out. You stepped out for one. Um, so you wanted something else. Um, it's interesting on where this relationship's going because he's clearly gonna have to have some sort of monetary gain from being with
Yeah,
her,
gotta
or
be.
I'm not sure why he's with her because even the sexual, physical aspect of it that they were doing, um, it seems as if he wasn't enjoying that doing the painting thing either. So it's like,
Yeah, yeah, he was pretty upset, so I'm interested to see where this goes. But they did not seem to be getting along at all from the moment they got there.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the episode ends with guess who? Alicia and Irvin
Alicia and
getting married
Irvin.
in that episode. And
Yeah.
so and this is what I was saying earlier. When you're
Mhm.
having a disagreement and you do talk about it, you
Mhm.
gotta try your best to sit in it, be respectful,
Mhm.
and get it all out. When you
Yes.
say, "Oh, yeah, I'm cool, I'm good," but you're not really good, then y'all
Mhm.
walk away and you still mad, and that's what happened here. So out of nowhere, they already talked about this. He said, "Okay, it's cool, don't worry." And she was like, "Okay, you know what? I got you."
You're
He
right.
comes out of nowhere and he is, like, steaming mad
He
about the
mad.
same situation, and
He's
she was
mad.
like, "Whoa." So it's kinda put her off a little bit because she thought they were done with this. And he was like, "Yeah, because I don't understand why you would be doing yoga with somebody else, it don't make no
Mhm.
sense." All valid points,
Mhm.
but I think he should have came to her when he was more calm and said, "You know, I know we talked about
Yeah.
this, but I just wanted to follow up on our conversation." But he was just on a 10
Well,
and
sometimes men just have a problem with calming down. You know what I mean? Like, you should calm down first,
Yeah,
talk later, you
right,
know,
'cause it's not
but
gonna be productive.
a lot of men are come up and like, you need to talk and be a man right then and there and have the aggression with you while you
Mhm.
talk, but that doesn't work when you're speaking with women.
Yeah,
With
exactly.
other men, yeah, that's cool, that's fine.
Well, it could go left too now.
And definitely can go left and it has gone left, but it's like you don't know how to turn it off when you're speaking to a woman. You're like, "Okay, it's time to talk. I feel this way. Let's talk now. Let's get it off my chest right now." But it's like you're talking to a woman, you need to slow down, you need to calm down
Yeah,
because
yeah,
talking to women and talking to men for a man is not the same thing. And for a
yeah.
woman too. Talking to a woman and talking to a man is different. Like a woman shouldn't talk to a man like she would talk to a woman.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
very
saying?
that's a very, very good point because
Mhm,
what happens is, and this happened in this scene,
mhm.
when a man talks to a woman and it's aggressive, all of a sudden, we don't know what you talking about, we don't know what you said. The only thing we worried about is the way you said it, and
Mhm.
that's what happened here. He was making all valid points, but all she was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, why you yelling at me?" That's when you were talking about, she was like, "I feel unsafe, like, what's
Oh,
happening?"
Lord. When she said unsafe, I was like, "Ooh, dog whistle." You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
so
I was
he
like,
yeah,
"Ooh,
he had valid points, but the presentation was all wrong. When the presentation is wrong,
bruh."
we focus on the presentation, we don't know what you said. So she wasn't hearing him, she was just looking at the aggression, so he was like, "Forget it, I'm walking away." She was like, I'm walking away." Yeah, so he
Mm,
he was still angry about it, but he should have addressed it
yeah.
the first time and got clarity, but
He
he halfway
did,
addressed it, and then it stewed on him. He
bruh.
kept stewing and stewing and stewing in it
Well
until he was ready to blow.
it's like this. It's been a collective of things with her, with him when it comes to him. He hasn't just started blowing up on her. Like, he this has been a nice building block of
Yeah,
red flags for him. First time he get with her, she don't want him to touch him. Another time, he can't get a hug, he can't get a kiss. He's like, "Dang, I done spent all this money and dang, I can't get a hug. I can't. She's supposed to be my girl." Another
yeah.
time, I'm painting her back. I don't like my back touch. It's like, dang, like I can't even touch this woman. And then, you know, uh, can we do yoga? Yeah, I don't want to do it with you. My body's not ready. Then you with Brandon. You with the fitness trainer. Oh, dang, my bad. I just did it. I just tripped up and found Brandon and did yoga with him. I'm like, so he knows it would, because you can't trip and fall in some yoga. You got to have a
Yeah.
conversation. You got to have some. Hey, when Irvin ain't when he going down to eat, maybe we can do some yoga then. Yeah, or whatever.
And I
Because it's
wonder how
like,
Kiki felt about that. Was she around? Was
well,
she up there
Kiki,
too? Were they
hey,
doing it
Kiki,
together?
Kiki gon' she gonna sweep it under the rug. She gonna act like nothing happened because that's her guy. She knows she can't get too mad.
Although she did reveal that she has a secret as well that
Mhm.
she hasn't told Brandon. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Girl, You ain't got time to be having no secrets now.
Mm-mm. Nah. There's levels to these secrets, and you gotta be a certain person to have certain secrets. You gotta look a certain way to have certain secrets. You know what I'm saying? Uh, you know
It's
what I'm
not
saying? Like
good.
brothers who don't, I guess, who aren't as attractive to the women, they gotta have a little more money. You feel what I'm saying? They gotta have a little more. A house gotta be a little bigger. You know what I'm saying? Cars gotta be a little fancier. So that's the same for women. Like if you got a lot of baggage, you know,
Gotta be fine.
body gotta be a little more in shape, you know what I'm saying? Stuff gotta be popping out the right way. So, yeah, it's like, yeah, there's
And
levels to these secrets.
to your point,
Mhm.
when she tells Brandon this secret, and if Brandon be like, "Oh, it's all good, don't worry about it,"
Mm,
something is up with him. We
mm,
already think, like, "What's happening here?"
mhm,
And so, if she tells him the secret and he stays or he not really tripping,
mhm.
I don't even know what it could be, but I think, like
Oh,
you said, it might be the fetish thing. Maybe he's just
nah, 'cause I don't know what that mean, the whole fetish thing mean, 'cause it's just what you like, you feel me? So it's like men like all kind of different things about their woman. So,
it's just like you don't like the person, you're just into whatever
oh,
they
okay, just the sex.
represent.
I mean, well, that's men too all the time. Like, men don't
You know
be
what I'm
like
saying? Like, if I had,
mhm,
like, a foot fetish or something, it's like, it don't matter who feet, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't about you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, it's her. Okay, it's tomorrow, it's gonna be another big girl, and then, oh, I
mm,
like you know what I'm saying?
it's
Like, do
just
you like
who's
anything about Kiki?
yeah, I see
You know
what
what
you're
I'm
saying.
saying?
Like, as a person, I think he do.
Yeah, and it
You know
looks
what I'm
like
saying?
it. I'm just it
I
ain't
think he
adding up.
he
You
but we'll
the most unfit person guy in the house is
in
with
shape, yeah,
the biggest woman in the house.
which is weird
It's weird, that's
because
all
it's
I'm
like, "Dawg,
saying.
you are super fit," like, and there's a lifestyle that comes with being crazy fit like that.
Yeah,
Eating is part of that lifestyle.
yeah, he was like
Exercise is part of
six-pack
that.
fit. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
exercise
no
is
fat.
part of that life. I'm in shape, I ain't necessarily six pack, ain't eating no sugar,
Right, and
full
I won't
chicken
be.
breasts all
Right.
throughout the week in shape. That's a different kinda in shape.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I want a burger when I want a
Yeah,
burger, you know what I'm saying? Imma
I'm
go
telling you,
work
I'm not
out,
willing to go
but
that I'm gonna have a flat stomach, but I'm not gonna have a
yeah,
six-pack. That's
Imma keep myself Imma exercise, Imma go work out, Imma pump some iron, you know what I'm saying? Imma do that, but man, am I just gonna, like I said, eat chicken breast sandwiches all week or not eat no bread or I can't eat no rice because sh
carbs.
yeah, carbs and all that, like and I there's certain things I won't eat, you know what I'm saying, to an extent, limit my pork and things of that nature, limit my red meat, but, I mean, not to have certain stuff, like, Imma eat a steak, you know what I'm saying, when I wanna eat a steak.
Right.
Imma eat some fried chicken on Sunday, you know what I
Okay,
mean?
baby.
And I'm like, "Yo, yeah, that's why." You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's
As you can tell, we love to eat.
mhm. We
But
working
that
on
was
it.
the show, guys. Again, very entertaining. I
Mm,
don't like where it's going with all these random secrets. I think we could have did without that, but hey,
mhm,
it is what it is. So with that,
mhm.
we are going to see you guys on episode 3 next
Oh, 3.
week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Holla at your
Alright.
boy.
See y'all.